Putnam County Wi-Fi, can I help you? We got booted off. Anyways, what I was saying about Commissioner, how much time did I lose?
About 2 minutes. I'm posting this link, the other link.
Okay, I lost about 2 minutes, I guess. Somebody had asked me why I was so hard on Commissioner Harvey and stuff, and he's a wonderful guy. Hey, man, he might be. My problem is that I've been getting screwed for a while. Fort Gates has been getting screwed for 8 years. And Commissioner Harvey was in there. Now, I got nothing against you, Commissioner Harvey. Well, there's a couple things you've done that I really don't like, and you don't want me to talk about them. I can tell you right now. And all I'm doing is saying the truth. Okay? I'm concerned about Fort Gates because of the history. I'm concerned about the residents over there. If you can't get a cop car back there for a few hours, you can't get an ambulance. And that has happened to several people. And also the thing that I kept telling you guys in the workshops or in the county meetings, that somebody was going to drive off the end of that landing that you guys own. Okay, I want all the county commissioners to listen to this. You said that you didn't own it. The attorney and Ms. Wilkerson said you didn't own it. But right there is the bridge number. And if you look it up on the state of Florida, if the state of Florida says you own a bridge and it collapses, guess what? You own it. You have put no barricades. You guys that have only been in office for a year, I don't blame you for the last 8 years that it's been left wide open. But it ain't been just one car drive off the end of that. Putnam County is so lucky that nobody has died or drowned. Or maybe they have. And they went off and down in the river and we'll never know. I watch stuff like that on YouTube all the time. God, I hope not. I don't even like speaking that. But the fact is, there's been several cars, I know because I talked to the tow truck companies, that pulled them out of the water. And it looks like we're going to have one of them on the air to talk about it. And you're so lucky we haven't been sued. The only reason I'm not suing you guys, unlike what the attorney said, I don't have a leg to stand on. You better talk to my 8 attorneys and see what they have to say. But here's the thing. I know what would happen. It would break this county. Yeah, I would wind up with some money probably. I don't care about that. I can be bought, but there ain't nobody that I've ever known or met can buy me. Okay? So I'm no perfect angel. For you that wrote in, oh yeah, I should calm down. Well, let me ask you guys something, guys and gals, this. If for 8 years you were stopped from making a living, from giving your kids stuff, giving your grandkids, putting food on your table, what would you do?
You all know about how bad it got with COVID.
And yeah, it's another point. But you know, for you guys not to want to champion this is a piece of ancient history. The oldest piece of history almost in the state of Florida. Probably the 3rd, 4th, 5th oldest monument. And yeah, those landings are. Fort Gates, that concept, that area is still there. It's not a building that defines it. It's not a ferry. Even though that ferry's been pushing cars across the river for over 100 years. That barge is 100-something years old. The 2 original Cypress barges are still setting in the water right there. The state has refused to let me pull them up and restore them because they say they're a piece of buried artifact and you can't touch them. Apparently, they're better off to go away in the storms that have taken most of it away. But still, Fort Gates has been there. It's been a river crossing. When a couple of people, when you say, well, what does it concern us for a few taxpayers? Those few taxpayers are humans. Okay? But when an active shooter was there, the road was so bad back there that it took the sheriff's department hours to get back there. Couldn't get their vehicles back there. They pretty much had to hoof it on foot. That was in the paper, or what the press release that originally I was given said. When the sheriffs could have been over there in a few minutes by just South Putman, going across the river. Just going right across there. I know there's cop cars down here that could have been there in minutes. If a fire breaks out over there, you guys that are saying, well, it's only a few people, why should taxpayers do that? You know, or why should we be concerned with those few people over there? First of all, the taxpayers' funds that go into it to this date have been jack squat. $1,200 a month, which they said in the county meeting, and you guys, you really should get your facts right before you say anything. Don't open your mouth. It leaves you open for slander, for defamation. You guys sit there and told everybody on YouTube and for the whole world to see that you've been giving me and my family, $1,200 a month for years. For years. What's up with that? You guys didn't do your research? And I tried calling you guys and left messages for you to call me before I did the show Friday night. Nobody called me. Even as of today, just like for months and months and months and months and years, I don't get calls back. You know, you guys don't want to know. I'm here to help. I was a help. When you guys said you were going to give me the opportunity to save the taxpayers almost $11,000 a piece, I'm the one who went to Lake City to talk to FDOT. I'm the one who went to Tallahassee on my nickel. I'm the one that found out everything that had to be done and talked to the historians about it. Mr. Harvey, you know all this. You know all this. Because you've heard it in meetings. You've been handed the paperwork. Commissioner Rawls has sent you emails that I have. All the county commissioners. Now, granted, the rest of you weren't in at that time. But Ms. Wilkerson, you sent a thing trying to get funds for it. So if it isn't owned by Putnam County, then why did you send a letter? Or maybe you didn't know till after that. Maybe you didn't know till this last time. Or city manager, Mr. Suggs, you need to do your job. I've talked to you before. When the firefighters, when you didn't negotiate a contract for 6 years, there was no excuse for that. You've been there a lot on Fort Gates and made promises that never came to fruition. You know, they asked you to stay and offered you more money when you were going to go to Volusia County. But how can you let something go for 8 years? 5 years on my office being flooded with mold in it. With mold in it that people have to come into. You're allowing that to go on. Your name was on the paperwork when the asphalt and everything went down through there. When the building was, when I came to you guys and I said before it even happened. Bill Pickens went down there and looked at it. You guys came down, some of you did, and looked at it. 6 inches under the asphalt. You put the dirt right up against the side of our building. You don't own that. We do. That's a private building. You come in and you forced it to flood, even after I told your engineer, Press Tompkins, that it was going to happen. I told Mike Nimitz that. Mike Troxel came down and looked at it. And the solution for the county, ladies and gentlemen, on the office, a 20 by 20 building. The solution that they had, they have none now, I guess. They're just going to let my office be illegal by being molded where the public comes in, something they did. A 2020 slab, they said they were going to replace it. They're going to get a grant for it. Okay? Y'all love this. A lot of the grants we have to pay 20% back. Their solution is to jack however thick this concrete slab is. Who knows how long the building's been there. They want to jack it up 4 feet up in the air, 3 or 4 feet. And then they want to take the building and completely redo it. Forget this, $250,000. $250,000 for a building 20 by 20. Now, this is after I told them where they could get a building at for $15,000 from Birds, right down here in San Mateo. He has one sitting there. Probably doesn't now. I'm sure he sold it. The man does a lot of business. The building I'm in was built by Mr. Bird or his company, who's somebody's company. I got it from them. But, you know, how could he leave me in a molded office for 5 years? Mr. Harvey, I'd really like you to answer that question. You know, the name is on the bridge. You got that put up, right?
Yes.
Okay, if you guys scroll down in the comments,
There's a link that they can go to.
you can go to a link there
There's 20 some pictures.
and see the number on the bridge. I don't take my word for nothing. Do your research like I did. When I tell you something, research it. If they tell you something, I wouldn't believe it. I only go by what I see, what I've seen for 8 years. If they've been lying to me for 8 years, they got no problem lying to you. They've been lying to Captain Dale for 8 years. You know, I'm going to get off you, Mr. Harvey. You got a whole lot of answering to do to a whole lot of people, and it ain't me. Those people across the bridge there, across the river, they ain't happy with you. I know, because I heard all about them. There have been lies and lies and lies, and I'm not saying you lied, but you have lied to me. Okay? Now, another thing, I've got my comments turned on here on YouTube, because we're running on YouTube. I guess we're on YouTube now, or are we on Facebook?
It's streaming. It's just slow on the YouTube tape for some reason.
Where's Facebook?
You're on Facebook.
Okay, we're on Facebook. Okay, I don't know. I know how to talk in this thing right here, and I know how to drink this Mountain Dew. But when it comes to electronics and all the motherboards and everything else that's in here, monitors, there's 7 monitors. I don't know jack squat about it. I got one button I got to push on, and then these people are in here helping me. Now where was I at?
Said you were getting off Larry Harvey for.
Yeah, I'm going to get off of Larry Harvey, you know. But you guys should be up for paying taxes on a few things. We'll get into dirt to pavement tax. Don't go out and pay an MSVU. Let them figure out how to do it. Turn this into a charter county. Oh, you guys, do your research on charter counties. I've asked this for years. But on the YouTube thing here and on Facebook, I don't turn my comments off. You guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, you can, if you want to write something to me, I take your bitching at me and complaining at me and saying, oh, you're being a Karen. Yeah, I read that. Why am I being a Karen? Let me ask you something. You don't get a paycheck for 8 years on something that you are helping with or owning or working for. You come and tell me. I don't think I can be called a Karen. No, I know the difference between sexes, and yeah, I'm definitely a man. I even have a shirt that I bought.
One of the newer people that come in, they didn't know a lot about Fort Gatesby. They've been watching your videos, but they were asking, why don't you go get quotes and things done?
Why don't we get quotes?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody asked, why don't we get quotes on
They're new. They don't know what's
getting a
going on.
landing and stuff done. I did all that, but in a fair market, I can't put out the quotes, and I refuse to do it in a public forum because it will give other people advantages and give people a chance to screw somebody. Let's say I put in a quote for $45,000, and somebody else puts in a quote for $50,000. Somebody else puts in a quote for $100,000. Okay, and they hear that on the air in a county meeting. What's the guy going to do? Instead of the lowest bid being at $45,000, he'll go in and I'll make it $44,999.99. He'll pimp somebody for a penny.
Hold on.
So
Hold
that's why I didn't do it, because it wasn't fair. What is it?
Hold on. You're good again. You're good.
Okay, so that's why I didn't do it. The problem is that nobody wants to do their research. Why wouldn't the county? I have asked myself several times. Is it not working?
No, you're good. Just
Okay. I've asked myself, not several, 100 freaking times, why won't the county open this thing back up? Well, a while back, I found some paperwork, and I'm pretty sure this is why some of the county members, and I don't know, maybe it's somebody that's behind the scenes, because I know there's some of that goes on. I just haven't been able to prove it yet. Some of it I can prove. But there's people in government, whether it's a big government or a small government, that push buttons. They say what they want done and it gets done. But I found things in paperwork where the county was writing stuff up saying it was for Fort Gates Ferry, but it was being done down at Drayton Island, like the dredging, like other things. Our county commissioners told me that, not this group here, Mr. Harvey was in the other group, but our past county commissioners, they told me that they gave us a barge. They didn't give us no barge. They took Drayton Island's barge, took that thing I watched it go up the river. They said they were going to give it to us. And why did they say they were going to give it to us? Because their landing destroyed our barge. Yeah, their landing came loose and went into the barge and destroyed it. We got pictures on there. You can look. Did you post those? They're on the last video.
No, I can post those afterwards.
Yeah, she's going to post those afterwards. So go back in the comments when you guys get done, and we get done here, and look at the other pictures and stuff of where their steel beams went right into there. In the paperwork, it says they own this thing since 1960, in case I forgot to mention that. But it does have a bridge ID number. And what they've been saying in the meetings just isn't true. Hey, you know, I asked, when they all got in office this time, can we get a workshop on it? I know more about this thing than any of you guys. I know the history of Fort Gates. Yeah, oh yeah, we're going to get a workshop. That was last January, not just this month ago, 13 months ago.
We have someone that said, excuse my ignorance, but as county commissioner, does Larry Harvey have say over that part of the county? I thought he was over the west end. I could be wrong. And or does that matter?
No, Larry Harvey's, okay, somebody asked if he was just over the west end or if he's over this part of the county. They're all over the whole county. Okay? Just because the commissioner is in one county, he represents his district, his area. Okay? Larry Harvey has up toward Interlochen. Walt has the other side over toward Marion County.
I can post the districts. I'll post them out.
She could post the district. Anyways, they all have, but they all have say in what goes in the whole county. It takes 3 votes to get something done. Now, if things, there's certain rules and stuff, but I believe if they're under 50 grand, the head chair, which would be Miss Wilkerson, does have an option. If it's 50 grand or less, she doesn't need the votes to push something through. I believe that's the way it works. If it's not, somebody needs to correct me on it, but that's the way it was done in the past.
Excuse me.
And no, for you that wrote that in, no, I am not. I might run for county commission. I don't know. I might just go get my law degree and sue the piss out of everybody.
Okay, the next question comes in.
Next question is, shoot.
I'm confused on what this is about. Is the guy paying the county to run a business from there? Wouldn't that landing be a federal property due to its being in a national forest? I'm trying to figure out the situation.
Okay, if you guys heard that, it's kind of tricky because we have 2 different leases. One is by the state until 2044. Yeah, thanks, Donnie. We're trying. Donnie said he sure hopes we beat him over this. Okay, part of the you have the state forest and you have the national forest. Okay. Road 29, or Forestry Road 29, that goes back to the landing, that is owned by state, county, and federal. Because you have part of the national forest, you have part of the state forest, and then the county owns the landing and a little bit of property over there. They say they don't, but they do own the landing. And you know, guys and gals, this has something that just happened in the last year or 2 years or 8 years. This is something that has happened over 275 years. This is a place where the second and third Seminole Indian Wars were fought, where Osceola got away from his men and stuff. This is a place where there's a 1250 BC Indian mound sitting 500 yards from my molded office. That was what I was talking about before we got cut off. And then you guys talking about somebody saying I'm a Karen or whatever. I need to quit bitching. Okay. You lose that much money, like I said, or you're not allowed to make money to the tune of, if 25 cars are going across there a day, which is what it was averaging, we have the books on it. So if they do want to try to take me to court, I have over 8,000 pages of documentation. A lot of that the county does not. Whoa, they don't want me to hand that in. There's stuff that went on with AWS, that things were being done in this county. They were paying them. They had their public works guy. It's crooked as all. The sheriff's department. I don't know whatever happened with the investigation. Monies were, it's way too much for that. I'm going to stay on Fort Gates. It's bad enough. We can get into that other stuff in the Putman cockroach later. But the forest, the landing, we have 2 different leases. One with the state until 2044. And then there's the wetland lease, what they call it, the upland lease. That's where the county owns the landing and stuff. And on the east side, they own the landing and the property underneath. On the west side, there's been some talk of they don't own it. You know, I don't know who owns it, who doesn't. The lady who has the property and the other lady who caretakes properties, they say different. And the owner says differently. She wants no part of it, of what they're doing, because it's always been like this. But they own that landing. Their number's on it. Baby got your number. So the question is, who owns it? We own Fort Gates. We own the barge, and we own the boat that carries it across the river. In our lease with the county, we had a lease till 2019. One of the partners died. We had the Fort Gates Ferry had the lease. Okay, not Richard Hackett. He signed the lease, but Fort Gates Ferry and Gateway Fish Camp is who the lease is in. Now in 2019, I went to them and I said the lease is up. Oh, we're going to do up a new one. We're going to do up a new one. Mr. Suggs, you told me that when you were in the meeting, and the lady who drives the barge across Drayton Island to Drayton Island back and forth, you said, can we go ahead and extend her thing for a few more years? Mm-hmm. You got a second from Commissioner Rawls.
It's all on video.
Okay, that I have on video. So if you think I'm lying, I'm not lying. All I'm doing is telling the truth here and putting facts where facts belong. Okay? So you renewed the contract with her. So we had a contract to use that landing 1 to 2044 on the fish camp, but then we have the ferry landing. It was 20 till 2019. Now, in that lease, and you guys as attorney might want to check this. In that lease, it gave us an option for 10 more years because we paid for the county boat dock there, for the overhang on the county property that was originally there. We paid for that. There's an SBA loan on that. So they agreed to give us an extension of 10 more years past 2019, an option if we wanted it. Because we're on the hook still for another $60,000, I believe. I have to get with Dale, my partner, and see. Okay, before I got cut off, I'm looking at my notes here. I started saying about, if our county says they're transparent, and they'll preach that till I'm blue in the face and want to go to sleep on that front pew. Then why are the YouTube comments turned off on the county's BOCC YouTube page? You can't comment on that. I got people calling me Karens. I got people calling me Mr. Whack Off or whatever. I just try to put it as clean as I can there. I got people calling me a dirtbag, all kinds of stuff. Because they're friends of some of the people that I have called out. Okay? I believe in this. This is our Constitution. Our Constitution. We have the First Amendment right to freedom of speech. Why the county would block our First Amendment right of freedom of speech? Freedom to petition our government. A lot of you work. You can't go to the meetings. What better way to petition your governor or government than by telling them right here? It's all in black and white. It is right freaking here in your face. So apparently they don't want to know it because ever since they've had a YouTube channel, I have asked that question. And let's see, Josh wrote in, Flo. He's running for Putnam County District 4 commissioner for the county. And that is Commissioner Harvey's place out there. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this, and I've said it 100 times. Some of you will go, oh, you're a Republican. You're a Republican. You're a Republican. Here's my sign. Hold on. This is my sign. It hangs up above my studio thing there. You guys have got to read it backwards. It says Republican, Democrat, pissed off. I checked the box. Pissed off. Mr. Florence, what's his name? Josh.
Yeah, he's supposed to be on the 28th.
He's supposed to be on the 28th when we do this side over here. We got a bunch of people coming out to Fort Gates this coming weekend, as a matter of fact. Come out, check it out. See what's there. And see a piece of history. Bring your kids down there and let them see where Colonel Gates was there, where Indians walked around.
Take him to the...
Where Paul Newman was there. Where, by the way, I think it's Car and Driver magazine just did an expose with me out there on Paul Newman out there. But Josh, I've talked to this young man. He's a young black man. So this is going to blow some people away. He's a Democrat. And guess who I'm going to vote for? I've talked to the kid. I like what he says. I'm going to vote for him personally. I'm not going to take advertising from him. And this is not an advertisement for him, but I like the kid. He's a young kid. He was a volunteer firefighter. He's still a firefighter. And he's running for District 4. He says he will make changes. I had somebody, one of the county commissioners, funny is, oh, get out. You guys are going to crack up. I had a county commissioner tell me, Fort Gates, I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this, blah, 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 this is what you're doing, this is what I want you to do. Said he didn't ask for it. Yes, you did. Not only did you ask for it, you campaigned for it. You spent money out of your own pocket. You put gas in your own tank to go do things, to talk to people, to shake hands. You wanted it so bad, you risked getting COVID and influenza A and influenza B by shaking hands with people. You know, so you guys wanted this. Don't say you don't. So what was the next question?
Give me 1 second. It says, just curious on how much the county is charging you to lease it and who pays the insurance on the barge. If something happens while someone is crossing, since you say it's your barge and are you or the county responsible? And you said you had a captain to operate the barge who has their MMC license. And are you or the county or the state responsible for the inspection on the barge? Just a few concerns I haven't heard you speak about. Okay,
let me go backwards on this. The barge is inspected by the Coast Guard a few times a year. And any commercial vehicle is inspected by the Coast Guard. They come down there anytime they want. The maintenance and upkeep is done by Dale and myself. We keep wrought iron oxide and some other stuff put on it. And on the bottom is some Coast Guard approved stuff that goes on the bottom. Kind of looks like peanut butter. It's a bottom paint. It is eco-friendly. And yes, Dale does have his captain's license. He's been doing it for 28 years. He's been driving cars across there. I wouldn't trust anybody else that I've ever met to do it. That little barge and that boat, you want an adventure? Go on that. Captain Dale has nobody's ever sank on it. Nobody's ever driven off of it. I don't know
He's
how.
a natural. He just got on it.
But yes, we have to insure it. That would be nuts to be doing something that crazy that doesn't have a front on it and a back on it to do something that crazy. You know, if they drive off, it's their own fault. Hey, if the barge sinks and your car's on it, yeah, we have to have insurance for that. Yeah, that's just nuts not to. But the county landing, they own the landing. I can't go pay insurance on your car. I can't even go put money in most people's accounts. I've tried doing it after fires and tried helping people out. You go to the bank, you tell them you want to put money in somebody's account, won't let you do it. So, what was the other part of that? I was trying to go backwards and
give me 2 seconds.
remember.
Okay.
As far as the
how
county
much the
doesn't
county is
pay
charging
us,
you to lease it?
we're like, huh?
How much the county's charging you to lease it? How's the lease thing? Who pays the insurance on it? Is what they're basically
Because it's a historical thing, they have let us, we pay a percentage, a tax on like whoever goes across, because they don't send somebody out to regularly sweep the dock off, which is their dock. If bolts come out of it, they don't send somebody down to do maintenance. Hell, the other side over there, if you watch the video from Saturday, you'll see where the landing was built upside down and they left it that way for years. So imagine this is the barge coming in and this is the ferry. This is the landing and this is the ferry coming in. Well, what happens is the ferry pulls in and there's a ramp that comes down to meet it. Okay. Say this is the ramp right here now and the landing's back over where my finger is. This ramp comes down on top of the barge. Well, with that bevel on it, it makes it sit on top of the barge. So when people were coming off of it, their front tires were hitting it like that. And then their back tires, because there's momentum going back there, is pushing the barge away from the thing. That's been like that since 1996, I think. And they never would fix it. We kept calling them all the time, you know, somebody's going to fall up here. We're not going to pay for that. So our leases, we pay our taxes and stuff, and we do pay a lease to the state, but I'm not sure what that is. So, but, you know, but I will find out and get back to you. I'll have to ask Dale, because I'm not really up on that part of it. Mine is trying to fight City Hall to get them to do the right thing because they own the landings. Now, an easy solution for them would be to say, this is privatized. One of the county commissioners says, why don't we privatize it? It is privatized. But what I would like to see is no taxpayer funding on it. No taxpayer funding. Let Dale and myself take over on that landing. And on that little bitty piece of 20 by 20 freaking property there, we want to preserve this piece of history. I want my grandchild, my grandkids, to be able to walk down there 100 years from now, and I said this on Saturday, 100 years from now, nobody's going to know who any of us are. How much do you know about your great-great-great-grandmother? Was she a floozy? Did she work in a tavern or a Bordeaux out in Texas or California at the gold mine rush? You know, was she a church-going woman? Was she the old lady and the old man in the picture with a pitchfork? We don't know that much about it, our history. And our history, if you think about it, is not that old. Even though it's a long time, I'm 65, heading for 65 here pretty soon. My life has gone by quick, and I'm sure you that are my age are going to agree with me. It goes by super quick. Way quicker than what I wanted it to. But who's going to remember us? Nobody. We have one shot while we're here to preserve this for our kids. And to leave a legacy of what? My brother died a few months ago. He left his kids hardly jack squat. He was a priest. He didn't have much. He didn't have kids. He had the kids before he became a priest. Before he became a priest, he was one of the wildest party animals I ever met in my life. And then he said one day that him and his ex-wife had pretty much seen something that made him believe in God. And I'm not going to get into it right now. But it changed his whole life around. But when he died, his legacy is what? If I said Terry Lynn Roberts right now, only a handful of you would know who the hell I was talking about. You wouldn't know that while he had colon cancer, that he went out there and helped collect toys and in the freezing cold when he weighed, he weighed 64 pounds when he was doing that last year. He went from 200 pounds to 64 pounds. Yet he was still out there with a cane and he would go help wrap presents. And which is an honorable thing to do. And why? He could have went fishing. He could have went and done anything he wanted. But for 3 months, he sat there and wasted the last few years, or the last few months he had, trying to help kids. And what did he leave? Nothing but a box of ashes. A few watches that I had given him. He didn't have a house to leave his kids. He lived in my other house. He didn't have nothing. And his kids, the last 2 months before he died, especially the last month, pretty much disowned him. Didn't come to see him. I guess it was too tough on him. I stayed in a room in one of my friends. I stayed in there for 2.5 months and never left except to go get him diapers every couple of days. And a shout out to the people at hospice. Oh my God, you guys are the best people in the whole wide world. We will do a show on you guys one night for sure.
Okay, this question is for tonight. It says, Travis, what was the payment to you based on the contract covering?
What was our payment? Oh, for the county? When they said they paid me $1,200, their mistake comes in, and if they would have done a research before they just blurted out, we gave Travis and his family money every month for years. For years. You guys lied. Whether you knew it or not, that's a lie. You sat there and lied to people that I know. I've gotten phone calls, hundreds and hundreds of phone calls, asking me what I did with the money. You guys made me look like I was screwing the residents of Putnam County is what you did. That I could sue the piss out of you for. But you know what? I'm not going to do it. Yeah, it pisses me off.
It's the half of the insurance. They have to
here's one of the things.
I have newer. That's the one it was on.
I don't want to post it though because I don't want all this information out there.
It says Broward County Commissioners.
I'm going to show this, but do what now?
It has the Broward County Commissioners as the thing because they pay half the insurance.
Yeah, the Board of County Commissioners has to pay half the insurance. Here's the thing we paid. I don't have my glasses on. Is that $4,949?
Yes.
That's for insurance. For the county landing.
It's in their contract.
So that was in their contract. They agreed to that. They also agreed to pay. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. If you don't think that we're trying to do the right thing, they put in there that they would pay us, and the county would buy all life vest flotation devices, which you have to have on a barge for carrying people across the river. And they would take care of that. They would also buy the ropes, which at $9 a foot is quite expensive. You know how many times we called and asked them up for life jackets or vests or anything? Zero.
We buy our own.
Zero. 0 times. We pay for it ourselves.
Oh.
So.
Here's the picture. Where's it at right there?
Okay. Here's a picture for you that are questioning how long it's been there. Here's a map that we have.
I'll post
it. And it shows from 1880. Here's Fort Gates right there.
That's from the Leslie's New World Atlas in 1880.
Leslie New World Atlas. Look it up. You'll see Port Gates on there. Bingo. So, to all the people out there that came out, I'll give a shout out to Odd Todd's over there. That guy has some kick butt burritos. If you're going down 19, make sure when you get in the Salt Springs area to stop by there. Those guys, Odd Todd's little taco stand. They have kick butt tacos.
It's a really
They got
nice.
kick butt tacos, but if you want something really good, and this thing is freaking huge, they're burritos. Oh my God. I was talking about going over and get one today. You know what? Todd, I'm coming over tomorrow. You know what? Here's the crazy thing. Todd, these people over there like playing golf. Okay? We have a golf course in South Putnam. People used to come over and play golf all the time. That brings money into Putnam County. People also would visit Crescent City, the city with 2 lakes. And they would bring it in. Drive in Crescent City now. It's freaking dead. The shops there's only a couple shops. I'm sure those people would love to have people coming in. If you haven't been in the forest, that's exactly what it is. It is the forest. And it's a long drive to go up to Walmart and around. As people get sick of going to the same places every time. They come across the river. We got places. Yes, you guys are about to get some shout outs. Shrimps are Us. Okay? Shrimps are Us, a great restaurant. Used to be an old worm farm there. A great restaurant. We have, is that a barbecue place there now? Behind Circle K in Willaca. But you also have the fish hatcheries over here. Where people from the other side can come over here and bring their kids. There's Mud Springs. You don't have to go just to Salt Springs. Mud Springs is over here. And that's back in the forest. That's a cool place to go and take your kids. My kids grew up going there. We also have, there's like a fish aquarium, I guess is what it is. Doesn't cost anything. Right there in the south end of Willaca. Right there on 309. It gets full in as long as you're there from 9 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. I think, if not, well, I'll find out. I'll post some pictures of it. They have bass in there, they have turtles, they have a little alligator, they have all these aquariums on the wall.
It's 3 o'clock now.
Okay. You got,
I think it's 3. They close at 3.
Oh yeah, it might be 3 o'clock they close. But you have the fish hatcheries over there, all these ponds. You have the Department of Forestry over there. And those guys over there are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. They have an equestrian riding place back there. Okay, they're saying, what do I base...
No, she said, so based on the contract, you never received payment before the contract expired.
They got the $1,200 before the contract expired for the insurance. Mm-hmm. Richard Hackett had a check written out to him every month, and he paid the insurance on it. Yeah. So, if that answers your question.
You weren't on the thing at that time, so they did not write it to you.
You also have you have Shrimp Rush. You have a couple of restaurants. You have the Log Cabin Bar that's over there. That place is always hopping. I mean, it's a down-home, good old place. You have Anderson's over there on the river. Who am I forgetting? But you come up here, you got Meemaw's Restaurant. You have
Angel
you want one of the best hamburgers around? Go to the golf course down at the Oaks on 309. You have Renegades down there. You have Fat Bastards. I think Fat Bastards still there, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Porky's, and by the way, that's the name of the place, Fat Bastards. You have Porky's over there. There's a number of places. There's boat ramps. There's the Indian Mound, 1250 BC. How many of you even knew it was in Putnam County? You know, you have, there's so much, the septic tank companies over here, Willaca Well Drilling, takes it across the river. You know, if the ferry was open tomorrow, instead of me making an hour and 20-minute trip around to get a burrito, I mean, I like Taco Bell. Doesn't compare to Todd's over there. Taco Todd's. I met his dad and mom. The coolest guy I've met is a veteran. He was in the Navy. He was telling me all about going up in the rivers and stuff, and like the U-boats and little John boats. The guy's cool as all. I met some really interesting people and some really nice people over there. Oddly enough, I didn't meet any county commissioners. Crazy.
They said
Oh, Fat Bastards is called, and now it's called the Basin?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and you had the other people that bought the brick. What was that?
I just went through so many bricks.
There's bricks Fort Gates has been selling. And what we're doing is we're raising the cabins up or remodeling the cabins. Because when Hurricane Irma went through, the whole place was underwater. And there's been a couple of hurricanes that have gone through. And it comes up over the floodplain. Ever since they put that road in, the flooding has gotten worse. But, hey, I understand we've got to do progress. I'm not bitching and complaining about that. I do hope they do the right thing because that office can't continue to do that. They're going to get in trouble, not me.
There's a picture of it posted in the links.
There's a picture of it posted in what?
Links.
Oh, in the links that they put up. There's pictures of it where the office is, it's a mess. They did not listen, did not plan in advance. Man, and one of them said last term, said, oh, we're not responsible for that. The hell you're not. If you destroy something of somebody's property, you are responsible. Period. You're going to give me a new office. Whether I move the place or not, you guys did it. Even after I said and I warned the county that it was going to happen, they did it anyways. So you owe me an office. I'll expect it pretty soon. If not, I'm going to start showing people exactly, exactly what you did. I'm going to show them the mold. And I hope somebody from the CDC is listening and decides to come down and tell me, can you get Legionnaire's disease from this? Oh, I don't want to die from that kind of crap. You're putting me in danger. You're putting kids that come down there to learn about Fort Gates in danger. So anyway, some great fishing down there too. And speaking of fishing, Fort Gates is responsible for the fishing and what it is today. And with the river keepers, they're the ones who initiated it, and the forestry or the water management district and stuff. They put out birch baskets back in the 80s. Back in the 80s, something happened in the, what did they call that grass? The
estuary.
Shrimp grass?
Oh, the shrimp grass. They did the estuary.
Got destroyed. They sprayed the crap out of it and killed all the shrimp grass. And I believe that's what it's called. Or eel grass or something where the little bait fish and stuff can hide. Used to be a ton of it down by Fort Gates and all along the river there. On the west bank and the east bank. They did that not long ago again, a few years ago. And screwed the fishing. Whoever allowed that to happen in Putnam County should be taken out back and beaten. I love fishing, but you guys are messing up things, you know. That damn dam and everything else, you know. Okay, yeah. But, you know, Fort Gates went out and they used a barge, which they didn't charge anything at all. And they took the barge up and down the river with all these birch baskets that these kids and from the local schools and stuff and volunteers built. Thousands and thousands of birch baskets. And the hatchery with the water keepers and them went down to St. John's River and went up to St. John's River. They went all over Lake George. They went all the way up to Palaca. And they used the Fort Gates Ferry boat and barge to go set all these up because that barge, it only needs a few inches to float in. And they went all the way up and down the place. When 2 or 3 planes crashed in the St. John's River, one was a doctor that lived in the fly-in, crashed right there near Fort Gates. Captain Dale was over there. They got that thing pulled out before the fuel contaminated the St. John's River. When the cops have to go across or an ambulance has to go across, and I love our law enforcement, I mean, yes, you have bad ones and everything. People that are going to start giving me a crap. Don't do it. You ain't going to win that election with me. I love the men in blue. If you guys are in trouble, they're the first ones to get there. Our volunteer firefighters are firefighters, period. It really stinks that it took the county 6 years to get them a contract. That for 19 years, some of them went really unrecognized. We lost so many firefighters, and never once did somebody from HR call to find out what the problem was. But they were bringing people in and paying them more than they were the older veterans that knew everything. They used our county as a training ground, and then people would leave and go to other counties. The firefighters use it, EMS. You know, there was somebody that said that, what did they have, a heart attack or something this past weekend? They said that they had a heart attack, and the ambulance couldn't get back to them. It's not just Fort Gates Ferry landing. It's that whole road back there needs to be done too. We're working with some of the county officials. I contacted a few of our congressmen or senators and stuff to see what they can do. If they can make it, I think it's Mr. Fine is trying to make it to where it's a national forest or a, what is it, federal. He's wanting to make it federal so we can get funding for the forests over here. That would redo the roads. That would make a lot of improvements. Back what I was talking about a while ago. You guys in the county, you do own that bridge. You know, just do the right thing. I will put the damn barricades up. Tell me where I can pick them up. Obviously, I can't put them across there. Mr. Harvest, last night I'm going to talk about you because you just ain't worth it in my book. Until you prove me wrong, and God, I wish you would. While I don't have faith in you guys, I do have faith in our citizens. And there was a time, I remember in 2015. Yeah, I lived here then. Been here for 30 years. I remember in 2015 when you were running. I stood there and watched you. You had such passion and love for the people. And I saw you at a Christmas party a couple years ago. You were bitter. I saw you at the fairgrounds when the whole pork butt thing went down. You're bitter. I've watched you do deals behind closed doors that you wouldn't have done in 2015. If you could go back to 2015 right now, 2015 would kick most of your asses and leave you laying on the ground and beat the crap out of you for not doing the right things. Quit being politicians, guys. Gal, lady, woman, whatever you call yourself. I don't know. I don't care. But prove me wrong, please. Prove the rest of our citizens wrong. They got roads, address them. You're going to put a gas tax in, use it only for that. When you get guardrail money from 6 or 7 times, don't put it in the general fund. You're going to get screwed. You know, it's okay. It really is okay to have somebody sit there and kiss on the back of your neck and tell you they love you. Unless you're in jail and it's a big 300-pound dude named Shirley. I love you. You know, at that point, life becomes a different story. Don't put yourselves in that way. Some of the stuff that past county commissioners have done, they're lucky there's a statute of limitations. Embezzlement of funds, not just here, it's all over. But it's definitely here too. We don't have a drug problem, then why was it talked about that Narcan is going into boxes? The boxes they're putting out at parks. Oh, good God. You know, I wished I had the answers. I wished I could make things come true. But when it comes down to it, what did I write there? Oh, about the few residents. Yeah, I get notes passed to me during the things. You know, at the end of the day, people just need to do what's right. You know, don't turn your neighbor in for having you don't like his garbage cans. Hell, go over and talk to him. Talk to him nice. Remember you guys that saying that I need to be nicer and do this and do that. No, you're wrong. For 8 years, I've been nice. I played pacifist. And anybody that knows me knows I'm not a freaking pacifist. But for 8 years, I've been going to meetings, workshops, trying to save the residents money, trying to get the right thing done to preserve a piece of history that you could take your kids down to that don't cost you anything. You know, bring them down. I'll let them use a fishing pole. Teach them how to fish. Tell them about what went on there. It wasn't a racist thing. It was an Indian thing at one time. But our history is right here. Our roots are right here. Do the right thing. Help us open it. We're not making jack squat on money. And you want to know how I lost the money? At 25, as somebody writing in, at 25 cars a day, do your math, over 8 years' time, you've got 600 and something $1,000 plus the revenue that's lost off of the trading post with the t-shirts and the little wooden nickels and stuff. Oh, and by the way, never charged, unlike Drayton Island, they charge, down there they charge clay electric to go across to the tune of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And Clay Electric is pissed off about it because I've talked to a few of their people up there. They don't like the fact that they have to float logs over, or they have to get their equipment over different ways. And there's so many rules and restrictions there on a barge that is owned by the county that should take those guys over there for free. We don't charge EMS. We don't charge first responders. A lot of the businesses, we don't charge. If they're going over to help somebody out at well drilling, well, like a well drilling's been over a couple times that I know they haven't charged. Hell, Mr. Turner at Turner Septic Tank has used Fort Gates Ferry for a long time. And if he went over there to do free work right now, we wouldn't charge him. And Mr. Turner has done stuff like that. I know this. And he probably doesn't want me saying it, but he has. He's helped people out. I know that. He's a great man. Just like Mr. Bird. Just like the people across the river over there. And they're talking to Congress people. If you guys don't do their job, they're going to vote you out. I'm telling you. And I'm going to be the ones you ain't going to get my vote. Hell, I might be the one sitting in the seat asking for people for their vote. Because I know if I got in, I wouldn't take a salary. But I would do the right thing. You guys just spent $400,000 on a boat landing down there. On a piece of property for another boat ramp. We have tons of boat ramps. Tons. They have them down at places. Yeah, you got to pay $5. But those guys keep their own boat ramps up. They do it at, what's the place over here in San Mateo? I go down there and I put the boat in there all the time.
I can see it.
I can't think of the name of
I'll
it.
get it.
Somebody tell me the name.
Fish camp.
Bomball Home Cooking. Where's that at?
Georgia Boys.
Oh, it says Todd's is on the right side before 314.
Georgia Boys.
Georgia Boys. Yeah, I go over to Georgia Boys all the time. I put my boat in there. I put my buddy's boat in there. The canoes, I put them in at Fort Gates. I have canoes. We let kids use canoes when we do a small summer camp for them at Fort Gates. We have about 40 canoes now, a few paddle boats. We don't charge them all summer. Some of the money that's made on taking people across the Fort Gates, normally anything that's left over, we try to take care of the kids and let them come down and learn how to canoe. Let them fish for a little bit. It's pretty fun. I had 4 kids ask me, it's 15 years ago, 18 years ago, Mr. Roberts, is there a camp where they won't make fun of us? I said, what are you talking about? Well, they call us fat or nerds. So one kid, definitely nerdy, his glasses had a white tape on them. And I love that kid to death. Now he's a freaking computer engineer, go figure, and making millions, by the way. It works out in California. But they came to me and asked me, is there any place you know we can go to camp where they won't make fun of us? I don't know. What do you guys like doing? We like horseback riding. We like canoeing. Well, got a couple horses, so started that. Have canoes. I went and bought canoes, used canoes, got that going. And now some of the kids that were originally in that, my one little fat kid who is now buff, and is he married? No, he's not married yet. He might as well be married. His girlfriend has got him hooked. But every year he's there helping. And every year we put another group of kids through there. And every year it's a lot of fun. And my old tired butt is out there every year. Some of you guys want to volunteer, especially if you're younger, and can paddle me around. Yeah, I'd love that. I'm going to get a motor and stick it on that freaking paddle boat and get my butt up and down the river. But, you know, that's the things we should be doing as a community, helping these kids out. We want to know why the gun violence is so bad in Palaca anymore. That's not the job of the cops. The cops' job is to come there and figure out who did it, why they did it, and what's going on. And it's up to the state attorney to figure out how to prosecute them, the judges to keep them in jails. But it's up to us as parents. You get your kids doing something positive. My boy, yeah, he did something positive. He'd break his arm or his wrist or cut himself because he played dumbass a few times and skated with a Snapple bottle in his hand. About more stitches and stuff on that boy. Didn't want to play football, said he was too fragile, but go out and break his arm and his leg skateboarding at a park. You know, I'd really love to see our county put some parks up as well. We had it all authorized when Chip Lible was in. And Mr. Lible was a skateboarder. And we had Nancy Harris and a few other people that were all in favor of it. And we even had Pomona Park going to donate some land. I had Hard Rock Concrete of Keystone Heights, I believe at the time, was going to donate concrete for the ramps. They said, the kids will go in there and write graffiti all over. There'll be drugs everywhere. No, there was no drugs. The one out in Larry Harvey's district, out in Interlochen, one of the cleanest I don't know how it is now, but they built ramps, put them out there. This was way before he got in office. Built ramps, put them out there, and the kids kept other kids from coming in there and destroying the place. No graffiti, no nothing, and they had to sign a waiver. Then it became an excuse on why they couldn't do it is because they didn't have an insurance. You know, our county is self-insured. So if you go to sue them, there's no Allstate, there's no State Farm, there's no Farmers, there's Putnam County. Why? I say that's the way it used to be. I don't know if it is now, but that's the way it was last commission or before that. And then they had the Bates group that insured it after that. But from what I was told, there's no insurance. So the county thing is, if you get where it's too much money, hey, just file bankruptcy. There goes the county, you know. But the 28th, I'm going to get off of here. The 28th, we're doing a thing at the Fort Gate so people can come out and see it. And come out, and if you got to say something or you want to get more information, come out. Show us that you support it. March 10th, need tons of people in the county commission meeting. Stand up. Voice your opinion. This is why you have the First Amendment. This is why we live in the greatest country in the world. So we have the First Amendment. We get to petition our government. We have freedom of speech. And yeah, it was condescending as all. The way I was treated the last time in there. I'm not supposed to be aggravated. I'm not supposed to do this. I'm supposed to sit there and take it. And you're supposed to say, have a good day. Yeah, well, don't be surprised when I fire back with some words. Next time the words aren't even going to be nicer. And I have, by the way, the person in uniform that told me I need to watch it. I don't need to watch Jack Squat, First Amendment. Arrest me. I don't care. Our forefathers made it to where if I want to say something, I have this, the First freaking Amendment. The freedom of speech. The very first one. The freedom to petition my government. Freedom of press. Freedom of religion. When you take one away, you're going to lose them all. People, don't lose your rights. Use them. Don't lose them. Go in there and voice your opinion and tell them to save this piece of history. You did it for a statue that nobody really even cared if it went there or went away. I did. I think it's a learning tool. But you made a thing about an oak tree up there that never hung anybody. They were hanged at the sheriff's department, not in front of the courthouse. Never happened. That piece of history is a lie. For you people screaming that, we're all God's children and we all deserve respect and give respect. As long as I'm giving respect, I will give you respect. But don't talk to me like I'm a piece of crap when you're the one screwing me and expect me to like it and kiss you. Because I will bring you some condoms and I will bring you some Vaseline so that when you try to screw me again, you see the shoe goes on the other way. You know, I don't hate anybody. I was taught by my mother never to hate. That will destroy a man. That will bring him to his knees, will ruin his life. I don't hate any of you county commissioners. If you get butthurt by the things I've said, because you haven't done your job. You guys have had over a year. You asked me for 6 months. Okay? I know I said the last thing I was going to say, but I want to say this. You asked me for 6 months. To give you 6 months, you could have said a year. Could have said 2 years. I would have said, okay, this piece of history is worth it. I've waited 8 years. Another year is not going to kill me. Might. But you didn't. And then you try to belittle me. You said you were going to have it done. I sat there and heard you say, Mr. Suggs, we need to get a letter written. Mr. Suggs, you need to do your job. I know that it was sent to the attorney and then the letter was written by Mr. Walt. There. And he did that. That was done and supposedly sent out the day that I was in there asking them, do you need more time? Do you need more time? Or do I need to take it to litigation? Tell me what I need to do. This is my frustration. Get an attorney. And then to talk behind my back. And then to say, oh, I wish he would have stayed here longer. I had other questions. But I'm still sitting there. That was pointed out. And nobody asked me a question. You haven't been communicating. You haven't done nothing. You didn't even know the letter hasn't been sent out. Till you called over there and it hadn't been done. You waited till 2 months past the date that you were asked. That you wanted. You were asked that. I didn't come in there pissed off because you did your job. Or because it was the exact date. No, I gave you another 2 months before I went in there. And I called some of you. And I talked to you about it. You knew it. Don't try to hide from it. But whatever you do not call me out in a meeting. Do not say, what have you done about it? And sit there on your pious ass and look so condescending and then smirk. I didn't put that up for a reason tonight. I want people to go in there and watch it. I want them to go watch the last meeting at 2 hours and 33 minutes. And I want to watch what happens after the attorney says, oh, no, we've been giving Travis money, $1,200 or money every month for years now. We don't owe him nothing. He ain't that, blah, blah, blah. He ain't got a leg to stand on. That was bull crap. But I wouldn't expect anything else out of anybody else, especially when they don't have their research done. Anywho, thank you guys and gals for being on here. If you don't want to piss me off. Oh, crap. Almost forgot. I'm giving these away. Watch this. This is a Black Op, I guess, by Activia, made by Invicta. It's brand new. Beautiful watch. I don't know how to make this thing. Nope. The light. Where's the light? Can't find the light. Maybe there is no light. There's a light right there. Can you guys and gals see it? Yeah, I'm not sure if this one changes colors or not. That one's green. This one's kind of cool. It's got a clear band on it. It's got a clear band with a red, white, and blue face on it. And then it's got blue background there. It is by Batman. But that is going to go up tomorrow. The contest is, you're going to have to write in and say on there, do the right thing with Fort Gates. I think that will be a good thing. Write that down. Do the right thing is what you're going to put on a comment. If some of you want to get an early jump, we will put your stuff on the contest there. Try to only enter it one time though. Okay, it makes it easier that way. But have your wife enter it, not just you, not just your family. Call and have your family enter it on. You know, these are not cheap watches. They're Invicta watches made by Activia. Yeah, Activia for Invicta. And then I think the following week.
With a 3-year warranty.
Huh?
They come with a 3-year warranty.
Oh yeah, they come with a 3-year warranty. They're cool as all. They're brand new, still in the box. They even have the little sleeves on them. And when you scan them, there's a code on here somewhere right there. You scan them, and your warranty starts at that point. The warranty does not cover, though. It does not cover if you play idiot and go out and smash it with a hammer. You're not going to get another one. They're going to call foul on that. But if the battery goes dead or whatever, the battery and everything is covered for 3 years. Strap.
How long is your contest running till?
Contest is going to run until, let's take it to we'll run it for 1 week. We'll give it away next Monday night. And then I've got something else that I just picked up. I think I should pull it out. No. The red box. Oh. Hang on, guys and gals. I got to find this thing. This is so cool. You're going to love this.
The right one?
Huh?
I don't see it in here.
It's, should be over there with,
Sit on the
see where the holder's at?
Yes. Sit behind it.
Probably. It's like this. Looks like,
Oh, that?
yeah. I'm going to give you guys a sneak preview since you guys have hung in there early. Okay. I got this thing to give away on the show. Okay. So, this thing right here is cool as all. It's a solar powered bank. Battery charge. Brand new. In the box. User thing. Warranty card. This is a power pack. You know, we get a lot of storms. And I was sitting there thinking about it with Fort Gates. I had bought myself one of these a long time ago. Because we had so many storms in Florida. You know, hell, just afternoon storm enough to knock the power out. This is a solar-powered battery bank charger. It has, you can charge 2, I don't know what kind of ports those are, but it has a little tiny one. What are those, C's?
I think it's a C
Whatever.
and USBs. So you can
It'll charge up to three devices for 6 hours. Or as long as you keep this thing on. And it also, somewhere,
Is it dead?
oh, it's dead. Needs a charge. Has a flashlight on the end.
And it's a phone charger.
Yeah, it's a phone charger, and you can see the phone right here? I don't even know where my phone's at. But you can lay your phone right here on this part as well. Right there. It goes right in there. You just set it on top of it so it'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 devices at one time for up to 4 to 6 hours. So, is that one charged?
I'm just checking to see.
That one's mine. I'm not giving that one away. I need that one for a storm. Anyways, there we go. There you have it. Let
There
me
you
put
go.
all this stuff back in there.
It's
Yeah,
on.
here we go. This thing has LED lights and it is bright. I mean, this freaking thing will blind you. And just one button. I think it does 3 things.
It also has a
It
little hook for
strobes.
carrying.
There it goes. It strobes. If you're looking, don't look. If you have epilepsy, don't look. It will mess you up. It'll send you freaking out. But that stops would-be attackers, supposedly. I don't know. I've never had anybody try to attack me like that. Anyhow, that's a preview. That's just some of the stuff. Like some of the other contests we have coming up are going to be weekend getaway at Gateway Fish Camp. I have another couple of companies. Hell, maybe I can talk Todd over there. And you know what? If he doesn't want to give one of the burritos or a couple burritos away, I'll buy them myself and give them away. This damn things are so good. I can't wait till
And
tomorrow.
we'll have to check out the other restaurant as
I'm
well.
gonna go beat on his door. I wonder if he's got any burrito stuff at his house. And beat on his door. Just shoot my ass and leave me back in the woods. All right, guys and gals, I've got to get out of here. It's 8:30. Thank you very much for letting us come into your homes and your hearts, and hopefully get enough people together for the 10th of March and just go in there. Like I say, exercise your constitutional rights. Do the
Peacefully,
right
please.
thing.
We're asking people to be peacefully. We don't have to
And be nice when you go in there. What?
be respectful. We just
Yeah, be respectful. I'm going to try to be as respectful as I can. I'm already labeled an a-hole, so let me have that, please. I've worked hard on it. So, okay, I got to figure out how to turn the system off. So we'll talk to you guys and gals on Wednesday night, 7 to 8. Okay, thank you. Good night.